Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons Today. I want to jump into the latest Falcons news and rumors here on a Monday. And of course, the trade engine continues to turn regarding the Atlanta Falcons. There was an article we'll start with from ESPN talking about a list of the most, quote, tradable players in the upcoming 2022 trade season starting in March. And there were two Falcons that made the list. One was Grady Jarrett, and the other was Calvin Ridley. And of course, we're going to focus in on Grady Jarrett here for this start of the video because we talked plenty about Calvin Ridley being traded. We know that Grady Jarrett, most importantly, has $23.8 million left on his deal as a cap space hit. That is very, very expensive. And so as we'll see ESPN talking about how, getting rid of Grady Jarrett frees up a lot of money for the Falcons to go ahead and have some more options in free agency. So start with the ESPN's quote here on Grady Jarrett. Put up on the screen, quote, two-time Pro Bowler needs a new contract, and the cap-strapped Falcons won't be eager to absorb his $23.8 million cap hit. The 28-year-old is still expensive, and plenty of other teams see him as a top 10 interior player. The star-hungry Rams should pair him with Aaron Donald and wreck the NFC West. Okay, first off, stop. The first half of that is fine, right? Expensive. Can you repay him? 28 years old. Why do they include the Rams here? Like, the Rams are not going to go and sign Grady Jarrett. They don't have the money to do so. That's dumb. Either way, listen, I don't necessarily disagree with the most of this quote overall. Grady Jarrett is expensive. And the problem right now is that if you were to trade him before March 6th, you get over $16 million in savings and $7.3 million in dead cap money. Like, you save a ton of money overall. So there are two options here. Either you trade him and you get the money, you get the draft picks. Like, what's he worth? Like, second-round draft pick, third-round draft pick? Or you go ahead and extend him, find a way to make the cap work, and make him a Falcon for the next 5 years. Either two of those options are fine, but I do think as you look at the current Falcons defensive line, if you trade him away, it further shows that they must more players on the defensive line this offseason. Like I've said before, Atlanta needs to get two players on the defensive line in the NFL draft. First round and second round, I would go defensive line. That includes still having Grady Jarrett on the roster, though, right? If you get rid of Grady Jarrett, you have no talent on the defensive line. You then got to go into free agency and spend big. You got to spend multiple draft picks on defensive linemen. Like, it just gets very, very tricky. And so, again, it's tough to make a decision on this because I think you can go both ways. Saving money is good. Getting draft picks is good. But eventually you're going to have even a worse situation on the defensive line if you let go of Grady Jarrett. And so, I don't know. It's a tough choice for Terry Fontenot. We'll see what he does and what he decides over the next couple of weeks. Ad break, pick comment down below. Would you trade Grady Jarrett? If you would, type T down below for trade. If you'd pass, you wouldn't want to do it, type P down below for pass. Now, if you guys want to jump in on the betting for the Super Bowl, we have a great promo right now with our friends at BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/betfalcons. That promo code Falcons125 gets you a 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up and bet on the Super Bowl, right? So you put $100 down, use our link and our promo code, turns into $225 for you to go ahead and bet on the Rams -4. You want to go Bengals +4. You want to do prop bets here, which player scores a touchdown. You want to go over/under right now, 48.5. Like, there are a ton of different options. I use my BetUS account every single week during the NFL season to bet on games, and you bet your bottom dollar. I think I'm going to be betting Cincinnati -4 here. Sorry, Cincinnati +4 to maybe even cover, maybe even win. I don't know, but do it with our friends at BetUS. Get on your betting train. Chatsports.com/betfalcons. Promo code is Falcons125. Now, the Senior Bowl happened over the past couple of days, really over the weekend, I should say, down there in Mobile, Alabama, where all the seniors from college football play in a game and they practice in front of coaches. And, of course, Arthur Smith was down there, Terry Fontenot was down there, and there's an article coming out of SI.com talking about how the Falcons not only met with Desmond Ridder, the quarterback from Cincinnati, but are very much interested on the quarterback from Cincinnati, as Ridder had a very good Pro Bowl, Senior Bowl. Malik Willis had a really good Senior Bowl, and so did Kenny Pickett. Like, all the young quarterbacks, most of them were at the Senior Bowl, and they played very, very well. Now, I would consider Ridder a top 3 quarterback in the draft. The question is, where do you put him? Do you put him 2 behind Pickett? Do you put him 3 behind Malik Willis, who's trending upwards? I'm not sure, but most people, and I think the consideration is here that they will take a first-round draft pick in order to land him. He's not going to fall into round 2, and so if the Falcons are interested in him, they would have to spend a first-round draft pick to go ahead and get him, or trade back into the first round in order to go ahead and acquire him. Here was SI.com, the whole write-up on Ridder. We'll throw it up on the screen right now. Quote, according to Falcoholic, Atlanta has engaged in a meeting with the 6'4", 250-pound Ridder, projected by some to leap from this week's 2022 Reese's Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, to a late first-round slot in the April NFL Draft. But first, that meeting, which we assumed included the likes of Falcons head coach Arthur Smith and general manager Terry Fontenot, as they are, of course, in attendance. We don't know what the Falcons' thinking is yet regarding finding an heir to quarterback Matt Ryan. Atlanta passed on that opportunity in last year's draft, but we know that in some ways, Ridder fits the mold of a player the Falcons could take after their high first rounder should he somehow remain available later, end quote. And again, I don't think anything's wrong there on the quotes, but you got to remember, it's going to take a first-round draft pick. And the Falcons cannot take a quarterback in round 1. And let me just preface this, right? They could not spend number 8 overall on a quarterback. Now, he wanted to trade back in the draft or trade back up into the first round. You spend some next year's first-round draft pick, move up to 25 overall or whatever it is, and take Ridder. That's a different story. But you've got to spend number 8 overall offensive line or defensive line. Like, they have Matt Ryan under contract. They're not going to go ahead and get rid of Matt Ryan this offseason. If they do, it'll be one of the biggest blockbuster shockers that I have seen covering the National Football League for the many years that I have, right? I just don't see that happening. And so if you acquire Ridder, though, you then create a quarterback controversy because he's a first-round player. I've said before, I would take a quarterback in this year's draft. I'd take him in the 3rd or 4th round, maybe late 2nd round, and let him for sure sit. And you can do that if you take a quarterback in later rounds. If you spend a first-round draft pick on a quarterback, they want him to start right away. The fans want them to start right away. And as soon as Matt Ryan would struggle, in would come the Ridder chance, and then eventually you have to go ahead and play Desmond Ridder probably too early because even though he played well in the Senior Bowl, he to me is still very, very raw. So it's just interesting, right? They're going to do their due diligence. They're going to look at quarterbacks. They fall in love with one. They might draft one, right? That happens in the National Football League all the time. There's no guarantee that, they're tied to Matt Ryan. They've said so themselves, as we'll see. However, if you're going to take Ridder, you're going to take Malik Willis or any of these guys, I would hope that you take him later on in the first round or early in the second round. Don't waste number 8 overall on him because you got to get pass rush, you got to get defensive line as they've got to learn how to improve inside the trenches, or else it doesn't matter who your rookie quarterback is if you can't rush the passer and you obviously can't protect the passer as well. Which incoming rookie quarterback do you guys like the most? Like Pickett? Obviously, he's available there as well. You like Pickett, you like Malik Willis, you like Desmond Ridder. Which incoming quarterback do you like the most? Let me know down below in the comments section right now. For me, I Pickett 1. I like Malik Willis 2. I like Ridder 3. That's my ranking, but I want to know which one of the 3 you guys like the most right now. Now, regardless of what they do with quarterback and with the NFL draft, with the offseason, we'll cover it here on the channel. So go down below and subscribe. Help us continue to grow to make this the best one-stop shop for all of your Falcons needs in terms of news, rumors, draft videos, free agent videos, mailbag videos. All of it is here on the channel. If you guys appreciate that, you guys like that, go down below and subscribe. All right, quickly, final story here. Arthur Smith was on 92.9 The Game in Atlanta, a station that I work for, and he was interviewed and asked by Dukes and Bell, a station, or a show there on the station, about Matt Ryan. And he gave an interesting quote that people are glancing over. I want to show you guys here on the screen right now. Quote, this is Smith on Matt Ryan. I don't think it's business. It's smart business to sit there and box yourself in and say 100% this is going to happen. You got to keep every option on the table because the ultimate goal is to improve the team and to win a championship. It wasn't perfect. I'm very appreciative of Matt Ryan. He's got a lot of good football left in him, but I don't think you sit there and close the door and say this absolutely cannot happen because then you're not objective and improving the team in the short term and the long term, end quote. And so the guys from the radio station asked him, are you 100% bound to Matt Ryan next season? And this was basically his quote saying, we love Matt Ryan. I think he's going to be the quarterback next year, but I don't want to pigeonhole myself in there. And now we put this at the bottom of the video today because I don't think it's a big story. I think this is exactly how Arthur Smith should be acting, right? If a trade came for Matt Ryan, if an opportunity came for a quarterback in round 1 that you absolutely loved, maybe I don't, but they do, you got to go with what's best for the team, not only just this year, but long term. And Matt Ryan is obviously going to go ahead and be retiring at some point. He's getting up there in age. And so Arthur Smith not tying himself down to Matt Ryan is not really a big story to me, but it's something to keep an eye on here because he could have just been like, Matt Ryan's our guy 100%, and then you wouldn't have any idea of trading him. And so I think this just keeps the door open for a crazy move if it were to happen. We'll cover it here on the channel. We'll finish on this. What's your confidence in Matt Ryan? Scale 1 to 10. In 2022, how do you feel? Scale 1 to 10. I'm at a 7.5 or an 8 right now. I'm still a Matt Ryan guy, defender. I'm confident in him, but I want to see how confident you guys are in him. Go down below, comment right now. All right, again, make sure you guys are subscribed as we end today's video. Plenty more content coming up next couple of days. As we always do here leading up to the Super Bowl, we could be covered on the Falcons 24/7, 365, basically here on the channel. Of course, mailbag video coming up later on this weekend, so use the hashtag Falcons in the comments section. Ask any sort of mailbag-related question you want. For Atlanta Falcons Today, Thomas Mott signing off. To the rest of your day.